Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Kellogg Center on the campus of Michigan State University for the 15th annual Spartan Baseball First Pitch Dinner. And once again, if it's the first pitch dinner, can spring be far away? February 14th, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. First pitch in Shipyard Park, Charleston, South Carolina, against the Morehead State Eagles, just 13 days away. My name is Jim Cotter. I'm a Spartan baseball alumnus and a member of the Michigan State University Athletic Department team, and it is my pleasure to once again be your master of ceremonies on this February evening. You will note that there are a group of fellas down in the corner, to my right, your left, waiting for their introduction. Please feel free as they walk across the stage to give them a round of applause. It will soon be time to meet your 2020 Spartan baseball team. They will be in uniform order, but first, let's go to the video. Zach?
Sometimes it's gonna be battles that you need to fight. You can't back down, no. Don't let them stop you, no matter what they do. You can't stop me, you can't break me, do whatever you want to. That just makes me strong. You know I'm too strong, you know I'm too strong. I can keep going all day long.
You're going to meet a lot of folks this evening. Spartan skipper Jake Boss Jr., Billy Wooley, this year's Baseball Alumnus of the Year, and of course, our keynote speaker, Pudge Rodriquez. But first, folks, the stars of tonight's show, your 2020 Spartan baseball team. Please, as they come across the stage, recognize them for their efforts. Number one, a red shirt junior outfielder out of Homer Glen, Illinois, St. Rita High School, Danny Gleaves. An infielder, number two, freshman out of White Lake, Michigan, Orchard Lake St. Mary's High School, Dylan Kark. Number three, a sophomore outfielder out of Homewood, Illinois, Homewood Flossmoor High School, Zaid Walker. A redshirt junior, a first baseman out of Portage, Michigan, Portage Central High School, Joe Stewart. From Grand Ledge, Michigan, out of Grand Ledge High School and Lansing Community College, a right-handed pitcher, junior number 6, Wyatt Rush. Out of Westland, Michigan, and John Glenn High School, a right-hand pitcher and outfielder, a redshirt freshman, number 7, Brian Martin. Number 8, a senior right-handed pitcher out of Tecumseh, Michigan, Tecumseh High School, Sam Benscooter. Number 9, a redshirt sophomore infielder out of Munster, Indiana, Brother Rice High School, Ryan King. Number 11, a redshirt freshman, a catcher out of Allen Park, Michigan, Brother Rice High School, Gabe Sotras. Number 12, a senior left-handed pitcher out of LaSalle, Illinois, Galesburg High School and Parkland Community College, Jarrett Olson. Number 13, a freshman outfielder, left-handed pitcher out of Brighton, Michigan and Brighton High School, Zach Hopman. Number 14, a senior infielder, outfielder out of Omaha, Nebraska, Creighton Prep High School and Fort Scott Community College, Andrew Morrow. Number 15, a sophomore outfielder out of West Bloomfield, Michigan, Brother Rice High School, Reese Trahey. Number 16, a redshirt sophomore infielder out of Delafield, Wisconsin, and Marquette University, Peter Ahn. Number 17, a senior outfielder and left-handed pitcher out of Rockford, Michigan, and Rockford High School, Bryce Kelly. Another senior, number 18, an infielder out of Westerville, Ohio, St. Francis de Sales High School, Justin Antonsick. Number 19, a redshirt freshman right-hand pitcher out of Canton, Michigan, and Salem High School, Jacob Sopenko. Number 21, a freshman outfielder out of Strongsville, Ohio, Strongsville High School, Jack Frank. Number 22, a senior infielder outfielder out of Granville, Michigan, Granville High School and Kellogg Community College, Bailey Peterson. Number 25, a redshirt sophomore infielder out of Northfield, Ohio, Walsh Jesuit High School, Brendan Regan. And I don't want this guy ever to graduate. Number 26, a redshirt junior, a left-handed pitcher out of Naperville, Illinois, Naperville Central High School, Zach Bianucci. Number 28, a catcher out of St. John's, Michigan, a Red Wing from St. John's High School, Adam Proctor. Number 30, a redshirt junior right-handed pitcher out of Cass City, Michigan, Cass City High School, Mason Erla. Number 31, a freshman right-hand pitcher out of Bettendorf, Iowa, Pleasant Valley High School, William Christofferson. Number 32, a junior infielder, outfielder, right-handed pitcher, he does it all, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Providence Day High School, Zach Iverson. Number 33, a sophomore outfielder out of Wichita, Kansas, Andover High School, Casey Mays. Number 34, a right-handed pitcher out of Commerce Township, Michigan, Walled Lake Northern High School, Danny Gieselman. Number 35, a redshirt sophomore catcher out of Northville, Michigan, Divine Child High School, Scotty Combs. Number 38, a senior right-handed pitcher out of Alto, Michigan, Caledonia High School. You'll see him in just a moment, Caleb Sleeman. Number 39, a redshirt sophomore infielder out of Brighton, Michigan, and Brighton High School, just down the road, Trevor Hopman. You might have seen this fella in the Pinstripe Bowl. Number 44, freshman right-handed pitcher from Zeeland, Michigan, East High School, Adam Berghorst. Jesse, this happens to you every year, man. You got to get a lower number. Number 47, a junior left-handed pitcher out of Holt, Michigan, Holt High School, Jesse Heikkinen. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Spartan baseball team. Big round of applause. Now to provide this evening's invocation, someone you met just moments ago. A senior out of Alto, Michigan, and Caledonia High School. This 6'2", 211-pound right-hander. You've gained 11 pounds since last year. Did you know that? Just so you're aware. Okay. He's made 40 mound appearances since his 2017 freshman season, starting 11 games while making 29 appearances out of the Spartan bullpen. Averaging just under a strikeout per inning, he struck out 85 hitters in 89 2/3 innings of work. He picked up his first collegiate mound win on April 18, 2018 against Western Michigan, and his first save on February 15, 2019 against New Orleans. The highlight of his junior campaign was a stellar mound performance on April 7, 2019 against nationally ranked Indiana State, as he pitched 6 2/3 innings of shutout ball, striking out 5 and giving up just 3 hits, leading the Spartans to a 6-0 victory. A 3-time letter winner and 2-time academic All-Big Ten honoree, majoring in applied engineering science, son of Camilla and Tim Sleeman. Please welcome number 38, Caleb Sleeman.
I think we covered everything. We got everything. Let's pray. Dear Lord, I just thank you for this day, the opportunity that we get to just be here together and celebrate the year. I just thank you for bringing everybody here safely. I thank you for my teammates and that you've brought them all here together for a time such as this. I thank you for your death, burial, and resurrection on the cross. I pray that you bless this food to our bodies and just bless the rest of the evening. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Now I know this is where it gets awkward because you can't really applaud for a prayer or a meditation, right? But we certainly can recognize the guy that did it. Caleb Sleeman, well done. Thanks, Caleb. Two-time academic All-Big Ten honoree, His GPA, take Eric Rosecrans, look at his undergraduate GPA, multiply it by 2, you get close to where Caleb was. Sorry, Rosie, we had to get that one in. You know, we're going to have dinner, and that may not be the highlight of the evening because we got a lot of things to do. We want a lot of people up here. So we're going to give you about 27 minutes and some 23 seconds to eat. But what we really want you to do is to go over, bid on the silent auction goods. It will continue through dinner, and then right before we begin the program, we're going to turn the auction off. And so what I would ask you to do is to keep bidding, keep putting the prices up there, unless you see the name Jim Cotter, and then don't bid. We're going to give you a 2-minute warning, but before that, you're going to get a 5-minute warning. And then after the 2-minute warning, you're going to get a 60-second warning, and then the auction's going to close. With that said, enjoy your dinner. Thank you very much. As only the 16th coach in program history, he's entering his 12th year leading Spartan baseball. With an overall record of 333 wins, 269 losses, his 333 victories places him 4th all-time on the win list of Spartan skippers, behind only John Cobb's 567 victories, Danny Litweiler's 489, and Tom Smith's 377. During his tenure at Michigan State, the Spartans have had 34 players selected in the Major League Draft, including 3 draftees a year ago. Under his watch, Spartan baseballers have earned all-time Big Ten honors 42 times. He often talks about academic success, and his players have listened. In the last 11 years, 123 of his players have been awarded academic All-Big Ten honors. There have been 9 COSIDA academic All-District selectees, 3 players earning academic All-American accolades, 1 Big Ten postgraduate scholarship winner, and a President's Award recipient for a graduating senior with the highest GPA. And if that's not enough, Michigan State baseball, over the last 3 years, 2017, 2018, and 2019, has earned the American Baseball Coaches Association's Team Academic Excellence Award. His philosophy, which he clearly states often, I believe in order to be successful and develop our players throughout their careers, we will focus on 4 main areas in each of their lives: academics, and an effort to learn and to graduate; character, on and off the field; team philosophy, and the effort and will to win; and career goals, both at Michigan State University and beyond. Make no mistake, wins and losses are important, but the true measure of a person is their commitment to others and their willingness to make a difference in the world. Husband to Cheryl, dad to Abby, Grace, and Jake, Please welcome Spartan skipper, Spartan baseball head coach, Jake Boss.
I appreciate that. Well, good evening. Thank you all so much for being here. You know, I think we feel like I say it every year, but you know, this is our 12th one. And when we started here 12 years ago, it was more of a friends and family type of thing with about 100, 150 people. So to see the room full yet again in another year is really kind of overwhelming for me and for our guys. I think the community has really supported us in an unbelievable way. You know, it's February 1st today. We don't open up at home for another month and a half, but to see so many people here supporting our guys is really something that is special to all of us. So thank you so much for being here. Got a lot of thank yous, so I'll try to get through them fairly quickly here. But on your table, there's a sheet of paper that recognizes all our table sponsors. So I want to first of all thank our table sponsors for your continued support of our program. Let me introduce my staff real quick. I think I've got the best staff in the country, and I love these guys. They work tirelessly on Michigan State's behalf. But our staff, our pitching coach Mark Vandermeed is here, right in the middle of the room. Our recruiting coordinator, Graham Sykes, is right here in the front. And then two new guys to our staff this year. Our new volunteer assistant coach is Matt Rembelak. And we've also added a director of baseball operations, Ryan Crocus. And so again, these guys really work their tails off, and you know, we play in less than 2 weeks, and so you know, they're in early, they're there late. We had practice at 6 o'clock this morning. I think Rem and Ryan were there at 5 getting ready. So it's been you know, it's been good. These guys really do work hard. I think at Michigan State, one of the things that really makes us special, we've talked about it a lot over the last 12 years, are the people. And the people within the athletic department, that it truly is a really, really tight-knit group. And so we've got a number of people here from the athletic department I'd just like to recognize really quick. First of all, from the Spartan Fund, Chuck Sleeper is here. Chuck's right here in the front. Also from the Spartan Fund, Tim Day is here. Tim Day right here in the front. And Tim Day just flew in from Wisconsin. He went to the basketball game today. He couldn't bring back a victory for us, but you know, hopefully he's not going to make a baseball trip until he comes back with a win from the basketball program. So, also from our athletic department in sport management, Elliot Daniels is here. The guys that do all the AV and make us look good in the back, Zach Fisher, is sitting in the back there. Thanks, Zach, for everything. And then from our marketing and promotions department, Jim Donatelli is here, and I think Jim is over on this side of the room somewhere. Jim is the guy that's kind of in charge of getting everything together that's at your table today. So thanks, Jim. And then it takes a lot of people to make this go, to have this many people in a room and have it run so quickly. So quick thank you to some of the girls that work in our office, Ashlyn Downey, Kara Fisher, Lauren Bozick. They were all here about 1 o'clock today setting things up. Tavian Gaddy was also here working hard, setting everything up. But the one that really makes it go is Teresa Ryan, and Teresa is sitting here in the front. Thanks for everything, Teresa. And then, you know, Jim Cotter called him out earlier with his GPA, and we can go back and verify all of that, Eric, if we have to. But Eric Rosecrans is a guy that really makes this thing go as well with the silent auction. Eric's down there working hard right now, so thank you, Eric. The last two, you know, first of all, I guess our parents, if we could have all of our parents stand up real quick and be recognized just very quickly. All of our parents, come on, don't be shy. Where are you at? Thank you. I will tell you that we travel really, really well, and we go to some pretty cool places. But it seems like everywhere we go, we have more fans than the opposing teams do, unless we're playing at Clemson or at South Carolina, something like that. But there is always a lot of green and white in the stands when we go to play, and it's for our guys, I know it's really comforting having familiar faces there when we're in some hostile territory, I guess, so to speak. So thank you, parents, for your support. Thank you for turning your guys over to us and entrusting them to us. And thank you also for the job that you did raising these guys, because it is as good a group as I've had the pleasure of coaching. These guys work extremely hard. They do an unbelievable job in the community. They do a tremendous job in the classroom. Jim mentioned some of the academic accolades. I will add that last semester these guys put together the highest grade point average in program history, with a team grade point average of a 3.4. So congratulations. And it would be remiss of me to not to mention the one who's largely responsible for a lot of that is our academic advisor, Melissa Talent, who is down here in the front as well. And then I guess lastly, we have a lot of alumni here. We have guys, I think Jim Sack is here from the 1954 College World Series team. I know Jeff Holm is here from Big Ten Player of the Year in 2011. But if all the baseball alumni could stand up real quick as well and be recognized, I would appreciate that. I think we talk about it a lot with our guys. We're very proud of the fact that we're the first varsity sport here on campus, the oldest sport here on campus. 1884 was the first year of Spartan baseball, and to see so many alums continue to come back and support our guys, to see so many alums come out in the fall for the golf outing and in the spring for our games is really, really what Michigan State, I believe, is all about. And again, I think it's about the people, and it's just a special, special group. And so, for you guys, again, thank you for what you have done to lay the groundwork for the opportunities that our guys have today. This team right now this year, we've been at it for really officially as a team for about a week and a half now. These guys are doing a tremendous job. We've talked since the fall really about us doing as many things differently as possible, even down to the room tonight. We've kind of flipped the room and put the stage on the other side of the room in that same vein. But last year was kind of a tough year for us. I was proud of our guys because we had a really, really difficult start, but they kept at it, they kept grinding, and we were better than 500 the last half of the year when they could have really packed it in and kind of thrown in the towel. And so it's a group that continues to grind. They work hard. It's an exciting time for us because in 2 weeks from right now, we hope to be 3-0. And working on win number 4 2 weeks from tomorrow. But these guys, I think they've learned a lot from last year. We have a lot of competition at a lot of positions, which I think is going to make us all a lot better. But those experiences, I think, from last year and the way they competed the last half of the year, I really feel good about the fact that that's going to carry over into the start of the season. And then, how momentum goes. When you get momentum, anything can happen. So, really, really excited to watch these guys represent Michigan State. Really excited to see how these guys compete, and I would just say look out for these guys. I'm not in the business of making any predictions, but there are plenty of people that have picked us probably down toward the bottom of the conference, and all I would say to that is that's fine. You can pick us wherever you want to pick us, but look out for this group because if they play anywhere near what their character is and their work ethic is, it's going to be an exciting 2020 season. So on our schedule. You'll notice you've got a couple of different variations of our schedule at your tables, but there are some pretty exciting things. I think we have an autism awareness game on April 1st. We will play Michigan this year in a non-conference game, believe it or not, 2 non-conference games, but the first one will be April 14th against Michigan at Cooley Law School Stadium. And Michigan and Michigan State played the very first game at Cooley Stadium 25 years ago. And so we're going to celebrate that, celebrate the relationship that we have with the Lugnuts. Tyler Parsons, the GM for the Lugnuts, is here. Tyler is right here. Thank you guys for everything that you guys do for us. Big round of applause, please, for the Lugnuts. again, one of the highlights of our years happens right away, in the fall when we get to play the Crosstown Showdown. And, it's an interesting time because they're finishing up their season. They're grinding out 144 games, and we have 2 practices, and then we get to go play against the pro guys. So it's always a lot of fun, though, for us. And the relationship, again, with the Lansing Lugnuts has been tremendous throughout my time here over the last 12 years. So, Tyler, thank you for helping to continue that. We'll play Eastern Michigan at Comerica Park on April 15th. We do have Arkansas coming to town, which is going to be really exciting for us. I think it's the first time we've had an SEC team come up to East Lansing, and so it's the only day that I'm hoping it's about 30 degrees and rain and sleet and snow. Bring it on. But Alumni Day will be April 25th against Iowa. And so another highlight, we'll have our Military Appreciation Day against Villanova on May 3rd, and then obviously our Senior Day is our last home game on May 16th. And so thank you again for being here. I look forward to seeing you at the field this spring, and just look forward for you to support our guys. And again, it's a tremendous group. And so, again, I can't thank you enough for being here in Pudge, for you to take time out of your schedule to come up from Miami. We all know what the weather's like in Miami this time of year, and what it's like here in Michigan. Yeah. It's a little bit different than it is here, but I appreciate you coming up, and I'm interested and excited to hear what you have to say here in a couple minutes. And then finally, I will leave you with the distinct honor and pleasure of introducing our Alumnus of the Year, Bill Wooley. And Bill has been a friend now for 12 years. He's a guy that lives in Greenville, South Carolina, or just outside of Greenville, South Carolina. And if you've been around our program, you know that Greenville is a staple on our schedule every year. We will continue to go there as long as I'm here at Michigan State. This year we're going down twice and spend an extended amount of time. But the reason we go down there is because of people like Bill. And the friendship that we've made over the last 12 years has been something that's pretty special, not only for me, but for my family. And our entire program. And I know that the guys, Jeff, who played here in 2011, and guys even going back, prior to that, will talk about Greenville, obviously very fondly. They'll talk about playing at Floor Field and guys like Craig Brown, but Bill always seems to come up in that conversation as well as a guy that is just really bends over backwards for us and is a proud Spartan. You will not find a stronger Spartan anywhere in the country, and he flies the flag proudly and is there for us every time we go down there. We'll come out for a couple times a year in the fall for the golf outing, and come up and watch us play in the spring. And just been a very, very special special part of our program. And so we've got a video that we've prepared on Bill, and so take a look at the video if you would.
A native of Detroit, Michigan, Bill Wooley came to Michigan State as a freshman in the fall of 1963. He went on to become a 4-year letter winner for the Spartan baseball team from 1964 to 67. His contributions to the program included utility infielder and team manager. Wooley graduated from Michigan State University College of Business in 1967 and began his career that July in the Textile Fibers Division of the DuPont Corporation in New York City, where he worked for 9 years until 1976. He joined Johnson & Johnson in 1976, where he was general manager and vice president for 22 years before retiring in 1998. Wooley was chairman of the board for Nicor Inc. from 1999 to 2006 and was president of the private startup company with products to treat congestive heart problems before retiring in 2006. Wooley was also an assistant baseball coach at Eastlake High School in Tarpon Springs, Florida for 12 years. Bill and his wife Mary, who was a 1967 Michigan State alum with their education degree, met at MSU during their freshman year and dated all through college, and have been married for 52 years. They have 3 children, twins Daniel and Deborah, and daughter Alicia, and 4 grandchildren. Bill and Mary live in Greer, South Carolina, but make it to all the Spartan events they can to cheer on the green and white. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Wooley.
Good evening. I'll just tell you a little story. Some of you have heard it. I was headed in the doctor's office. Mary and I were going in to see a doctor about having some cataract surgery. The phone rings. It's a Tuesday afternoon. I look, it's Jake Boss. Jake doesn't usually call me on a Tuesday. I'll talk to him on a weekend or a Friday, something like that. And I said, Mary, I got to take this call, so tell the doc I'll be right there. So I go back out in the lobby and where it's quieter. And Jake says, Bill, how you doing? I said, I'm doing fine. Hey, you coming up for the first pitch dinner this year? I said, oh, Jake, absolutely, I'm going to be there. He said, that's great, because we're going to honor you as the Alumnus of the Year. At my end of the phone, there was silence. Silence for about 15, 20 seconds. Jake says, Bill, are you still there? I said, Jake, I'm here. I'm just overwhelmed with the honor. So I will repeat that again. I'm overwhelmed with the honor itself. Great memories of Michigan State. I played for Danny Litweiler. Danny was first year coming in, but both he and Tom Smith, it was their first year coming to Michigan State. So the freshman team, Tom had, freshman team didn't play competitive games at that point in time. So we did a lot of practice, scrimmage the varsity, drills, this, that, and the other thing. And then I got, the next year had tryouts for the varsity and got cut in the last cut. And I was devastated. And a good friend of mine, John Walters, who some of you may have known, John lived in Okemos, called me the next day and said, hey, Danny wants to talk to you. So I go over to the office and talk to Danny. And Danny said, hey, Billy, you made it right down to the end for the varsity. But we didn't have a spot, but would you be interested in coming on as a manager, a playing manager? Because we're going to need somebody. And I said, I'm not going to reject that. I want to be part of the ball club. So my sophomore year was that part. Most of it was the manager part, the stuff that you do as a manager as such. And then I got to the junior year, and Danny started putting me into practices. So I'd done a lot of infield, hitting, everything else. And then one game he said, go coach first base. I want you over at first base. So the rest of the year, and there was about 17 games left, I coached first base. And in one of those games, he said, you give the signs. So he gave me the signs, so I'm giving the kids the signs. So what kind of life is this? I thought it was great. Senior year, come back out for practice and worked on some skills over the winter, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, broke in as the starting shortstop at Michigan State. So it was a real honor at that point in time, and I owe that to Skip, as I would say. And then the story goes on from there. We moved to Tarpon Springs, and lo and behold, I find out that Danny and Pat are living up the road about 15 miles. So I get a hold of them one day. We get together, and fortunately we had we had probably 10 good years with Danny and Pat. We go to dinner with them, come down. Danny belonged to a private golf club up north. So I said, Billy, anytime you want to use a golf course, so I go up there with a couple of my buddies. And then Danny passed away in 2011, and they were living in Florida. They weren't living too far from us. He had been in a rehab facility. He had the hip problem. And I'd visit him usually every other week or so I spent a lot of time with him. And he and Pat and and Mary were very close. We'd have him for dinner. And I tell you all that, Pat called me one day, September 12th. Danny died on September 11th. And said, Bill, Danny passed away. Sorry. So we went from there, moved the body up here to East Lansing. He's going to be buried here. Would you be a pallbearer? Which I was. And so he was very special to me. Tom Smith is who I mentioned. Tom and I talk routinely. I may talk once a week or every 2 weeks. Talk, obviously, baseball and so forth. Saw him a couple, 3 weeks ago. And so we're constantly in touch. I say all that to say that for what has been 50 years, maybe 52, I won't do the math. But Michigan State baseball has been a big part of our lives. Jake came in, the new coach, 11 years ago, coach, and been introduced myself when he came in and has been more than gracious. Family, kids, the coaches. So I'm going to end this right here and say we got a great guy, a great coaching staff, a great team representing Michigan State. Mary and I are blessed to live in Greenville, South Carolina, so we get to see a lot of baseball games, Michigan State baseball games down there. And we're looking forward to this season, seeing the Spartans play around the country. We'll be in Charleston for the opening weekend, and we'll be in Greenville for the next 8 days, so we get to see the first 11 games or so. I want to thank Jake. I want to thank the staff. I want to thank your wives for all they do for this sport. Thank you to you, each and every one of you, for being here.
We should get this down to you right now, Bill.
Thought I said somewhere. I'm looking down there. Go drop it.
You old infielders, yeah. Well, congratulations on a well-deserved recognition, Billy. Not only did you represent Spartan baseball well during your playing days on Copes Field, but you continued to support this program over the last many years, and that support has allowed another generation of Spartan baseballers to play the game they love. And I know there are two folks today who are smiling down on you, and that's Danny and Pat Litweiler. I know how much they loved you, and we all love you. Congratulations, very well deserved. Billy Wooley, one more round of applause, please. Okay, folks, time to turn your attention to the video boards once again. Zach, let's go to it.
Here's the throw home. It is in time, and Snow is out at the plate. That's how this series ends.
Never let anyone take your dream from you. Don't let anyone say your dream cannot be accomplished. Tell them about a short kid who was hanging from the rope when I was a little kid, dangling there trying to stretch himself and hoping to become as tall as the other boys. I'm going to step on the side and look my side. I can say I'm a very tall 5'9". Working hard, getting ready, prepare myself day in and day out, taking things seriously, and don't take anything for granted. Ask yourself if you want to be your best. I want to be the best in what I did. And the reason that I say that is because I did that. You know, us as an athlete is like everybody here in this room. If you want to be the best in what you do it. And do it with your heart. To the youngsters, because I always love to talk to the youngster and wish them all the best and share all my experience and all the best for the kids. May this moment remind you that destiny is in your hands. Don't be afraid to succeed. You have the right to dream. Everything in life is possible, and life victorious are realized through effort and dedication. The kid they call Pudge, I am here on this stage, in this special place, this baseball heaven called Cooperstown, and my dream has become a reality.
On the wall of a historic and distinguished building in Cooperstown, New York, hangs a bronze plaque that reads, Ivan Rodriquez Torres, Pudge, Texas, AL 1991, 2002, 2009. Florida, NL, 2003. Detroit, AL, 2004, 2008. New York, AL, 2008. Houston, NL, 2009. Washington, 2010, 2011. A rugged do-it-all catcher whose powerful arm and consistent bat produced records at the plate and behind it. Hit .296 over 21 seasons, amassing more hits, doubles, and total bases than any other backstop. Caught 2,427 Major League games, most in history, and earned an unmatched 13 Gold Glove awards at the position. Renowned for his ability to nab would-be stealers, leading the league a record 9 times. Selected to 14 All-Star games and named 1999 AL Most Valuable Player with the Rangers. Led Marlins to 2003 World Series title after winning NLCS MVP. If they would have had any additional space, they likely would have added, after his retirement from baseball, his love for the game has never wavered. He continues to be engaged in the sport through his involvement as special assistant to the general manager of the Texas Rangers, coaching various minor and major league players, as well as working as a sports analyst for Fox Sports Southwest. A member of the Texas Sports Hall of Fame, Texas Rangers Hall of Fame, Latino Hall of Fame, and in 2017, a first ballot electee to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome Ivan Pudge Rodriquez. There you go.
Is it working?
That one is.
Good evening. I gotta be the first one to say go green. How about go green? I didn't hear anything. Say one more thing. Go green. There you go. Now they're awake.
Well,
From you.
how about we share? We're going to do a few Q&As. The other microphone's not working. So, can I call you Pudge? Is that okay? Okay. Of course. Well, I just want to make sure. We don't want to be too personal too quick. Talk about Pudge Rodriquez and your secrets of success. You made it to the top of the game. Those numbers are incredible. How did it happen?
Well, it happens a lot with a lot of discipline, to be honest with you. I grew up in a small town in Puerto Rico, in Vega, Puerto Rico. I started to play baseball at the age of 7. And I was a very lucky kid that I have 2 great parents at home. They teach me that discipline since day one when I born. And to me, that was a big advantage that I have in my life. I have another older brother that played baseball, but didn't make the professional level. But we always has that discipline in our home, you know, not the hard discipline of doing this, doing that. You're just telling us to respect, telling us, you know, just be respectful with the parents at school and respect everybody that is in front of you or whoever you're talking to. And to me, that's very important for me in my life and in our family. And I pass that along with my kids. You know, I have 3 kids. Actually, we have 3 kids. My current wife has 3 kids, and we have 5 grandkids. Yes, 5. grandkids, so we have a Brady Bunch in the house. And basically, that's what I always love to tell them every time I'm sitting with them. You know, you need to respect. You need to be focusing what you want to do. I have some great, couple of the kids at home. They're very good athletes, and I shared to them basically what I did in my career. And basically, what I did in my career was what you just saw on that video. And I don't know if you saw that video. I said in Cooperstown that if you wanted to be a great athlete, or if you wanted to be a professional in any degree that you want, you need to put that in your heart. And you need to work hard on that, because that's the only thing you can control. You need to have faith in yourself. And if you have that faith in yourself, to go to that goal and establish that goal, you're gonna be able to accomplish. And basically, that was me, coming from Puerto Rico at 7, signed at the age of 16, not speaking the language. I still not speaking well, but I do my best. But those are good challenge that I say that I have in my life. I left my house when I was 16 years old to live by myself, right, in this beautiful country, the United States of America. And my first stop was in Port Charlotte, Florida, and I met some great coaches to help me through my career, help my ability as a catcher and as a person as well. You know, I was lucky that they put me some teachers for me to understand the language, because my position as a catcher, I need to speak and learn it as quick as possible, and that was a big help for me. But the challenges that I have in my career I'm just going to be very honest, was pretty tough. 16 years old, by myself. My parents are in Puerto Rico, calling them pretty much every day. Charging all the calls to my parents. Collect call, yes, Ivan, yes, I said that was me, 3 or 4 times a day. I almost make them out of money, but that's part of life. And I say this because those are things that a lot of young athletes need to understand, that nothing in life is easy. You got to go through some tough times, but if you stay positive right here mentally, you can be whoever you want. You can be a great player, you can be a great student, or you can get any degree in whatever you guys wanted to do in life. But everything comes from over here. If you have this strong, everything is possible.
You talked about some of the managers you've had. Can you tell us a little bit about the different styles of some of the managers that you played with?
Well, it's totally different than today. I mean, I think today's too soft. Well, back in my days, I mean, I grew up old school. I mean, old school to me means that, I grew up. I came up in 1991 with the Texas Rangers, and my manager at the time was Bobby Valentine. And when I had Bobby as the manager, old school, obviously very intense. I remember like today, the first thing that Bobby Valentine told me when I walking into his office, he said, "Sit down, I wanted to talk to you." And the first thing he told me is, "Welcome to the big league, but you're not a kid anymore. Even though that you are 19 years old, you're not a kid anymore. You are playing. You're gonna play every day. But we're gonna treat you like a boy, like a man." And to me, that was so awesome to hear that, because yeah, I was 19 years old, and yeah, I got in shock at one point like that he just told me that right out of the gate. But that was good for me at the time because, well, the good thing he told me that I'm going to pray every day, which is great. I don't want to be in the bench. But the second thing that he told me is that you're going to be the catcher. You're going to take the charge behind the plate. And when he told me that, I was like, wow, that's great. Why? Because at the time I had Kevin Brown as the starting pitcher. I have Kenny Roger. I have Bobby Witt. I have Jose Guzman. And I have Nolan Ryan as part of the pitching staff. And I'm like, wow, this 19-year-old kid catching Nolan Ryan, he could be my dad. He can be my dad, to be honest. Yeah. And so that was a great moment for me in my career. I came up in Chicago, June 19, I remember, 1991, and my first pitcher that I catched was Kevin Brown. Very good hard sinker. One of the hardest pitcher to catch. We end up winning the game, and the next day, I got Nolan Ryan at the mound in Chicago. And this is a funny story because it's true. 19-year-old, next day, came in, Tom House, the pitching coach at the time. We come up to the clubhouse, and we went to the manager's room, and when I walk in, I see Nolan Ryan in shorts. No shirt. No shirt. I said, wow, this is big league or what? No shirt. And I was sit down, and Tom House was on the desk with the report, and we start getting over on the report, like go through the to every hitter, and Nolan stopped the meeting in the second batter, and he looking at me and said, "Kid, this is what we need to do. What you got to do is make sure this finger called fastball. You put that all the time. And if I want breaking ball changeup, I'll let you know." I'll let you know. And when we ended up winning the game, he pitched 7 innings, pretty good. We pitched great. Just put this one. I was very happy with this one. But the good one was that he won this one inside. And we threw a lot of guys very close. And I was like, wow, this is what I like. This is what I like. And so to me, that was a big experience for me because catching a Hall of Famer, guy, my first time that I catch Nolan, he was 46 years old at the time. So it's amazing to see a person that at that age still can throw 98 miles an hour and having a kid, 19-year-old behind the plate, calling signals to a guy like that is something that I never forget.
Wow. You talked about communication.
Yeah, well, me too. I say it myself, and sometimes I'm still impressed.
You talked about communication. You talked about respect. There's a couple of catchers out here in the crowd tonight. What's the art of communicating with a major league umpire?
Talk to them behind, like with the corner of your ear, and tell them what's coming. No, I basically, no, I'm going to go there, and it works. I always have a great relationship. I'm going to start with the pitchers. As a catcher, I know your teammates are very important. I mean, your position players, everybody, coaches, coach, everybody. But your best friends that you need to have in your team is your pitching staff. The reason that I say that is because you need to talk to them all the time, really all the time. You know, in the clubhouse, in the dugout, when the starting pitcher are in the game, you need to sit down with them and talk about what's going on the inning before. Don't think about hitting. Hitting is 4 times. And you don't bring hitting to offense, to behind the plate. Because if you do that, the team is not going to win. It's very important. Catcher has 2 jobs. And the number 1 job the catcher needs to have is behind the plate. It's not hitting. And I was like that. And you just mentioned my numbers as an offensive player. And I never think about it because I didn't think about that. I was thinking about my defense. I was thinking about blocking my balls, blocking every time before the games, throwing, getting ready, just make sure I'm ready. Communication with the pitchers, what you like, how you feel today. I want you to tell me how you feel. And depends what you tell me how you feel, I'm going with it. So it's a relationship. You need to have a relationship with your pitching staff. That's the only way you win games. You can have the most powerful lineup in the game, but if you don't have a good pitching, you're going to lose by 2 runs, or they're going to score you 10, 15 runs. Yeah, you're gonna get 10 runs. Your team, you're gonna get 10 runs, but you're losing 12 to 10. Because if you don't have that pitching staff that you want, if you don't have that pitching staff that you really, that really care about the team, you're not winning. I prefer to have a 1-0 games, 2-1 games, 3-2 games, fundamental games. Move the guy over, bunt, steal every once in a while. But having a pitcher that I catch and give me 7, 8, 9 innings strong in 98 pitches, I take that anytime.
Pudge, you said you came in 1991, right? You saw some great base runners. Who did you want to see off the bases whenever you could? You just didn't want that guy to be on base because you knew the challenge it was going to present.
Well, they don't want to see me behind the plate.
Well, okay. Fair answer, but
Well, no.
occasionally somebody got on.
No, I have a few. I got to say a couple. Kenny Lofton, very smart runner. Roberto Alomar, very smart runner. Ricky Henderson, not too lucky with me. I got him a lot. I throw him a lot. I'm going to tell you a story about Ricky, and this is a good one. Long time ago, I think I was my 3rd or 4th years in the big leagues. Oakland A's came in town to Texas, and we start the game, and Ricky Henderson lead off. And Ricky looking at me, and I say, "How you doing, Ricky?" Because I always say hi and good luck the first time up, and after that, no more. And we say hello and hi, and after we say hello, he look at me and say, "Are you ready?" I say, "Always, I'm ready. I'm running." He told me I'm running. And I told him, "I will be ready. I will be ready." So he walked, and the first mistake that he did, that he take off first pitch. I know he's going to run. So guess what I did? I caught a fastball by 3 feet outside fastball, and I threw it about 10 feet. Came back. He said, "Good throw, huh? But that was fastball away, right?" I said, "No, that's a slider." It was a slider. I said, oh, a slider, okay. But you know what? I'm going to be ready again. I'm going to steal again. I said, okay, I'm going to be ready again, Mr. Henderson. So 2 batters later, take off again. That time I threw slider, but he has a horrible jump, and I threw him out. So he was in second base. You know that he always lie head first. And when I threw him out, he stayed there like for 4 or 5 seconds in the ground like that. Like, oh my God, what happened? Like what? So he was running with his head down to the dugout. Third time up, he looking at me. I said, kid, great throws. I'm not running again.
That's good. January 18, 2017. You get the call. Jeff Bagwell, Tim Raines, and Yvonne Pudge Rodriquez are elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I watched the video on the internet the other day. Can you relive and relate to us the feelings when you get that call?
Well, the feeling was like what you just saw in that video. When I was on that stage, in front of 29,000 people in that park in Cooperstown was a dream. It was a dream come true. I mean, since I got the phone call and in Texas, all this stress that I have for the year, because when you are, when you come to that last year to be able to be in the to get that call, you start to getting a little nervous. And I remember that I was in class. I was in, with a speaker teacher for me to speak in Cooperstown. And basically, to be honest with you, I read only 2 pages of that speech. The rest was coming from here. And that's the best part of, being in that moment. I know that it's a nervous wreck when you speak in front of 27,000 people, but it's only the first 20 seconds. After the first 20 seconds, this turns on and it's all gone. And that happens to me. But when I got that call, my family was there. The first one that hugged me was my son, Ivan Derek. And as you know, Ivan Derek plays in the big leagues. He plays with the San Francisco Giants. He's one of the starters in the Giants. And if you see him, he has a long hair all the way down, almost to here now. And he was the first one to hug me and congratulate me and say, "You deserve this. You're the hero. Now you got everything." That's what he told me. When you hear that from your own son, and then your 2 daughters came behind it and say that to me, in myself, I say, "Wow, I think I did pretty much everything." When your kids come to you and say that you're awesome, and he was one of them. That to me was best moment that I have at the time. Obviously, my wife came in and all that, but just be able to receive all that warm hugs from my family, especially from my kid, was unbelievable.
Doesn't get any better than that. A lot of Detroit Tiger fans out there. Yep. And boy, that's hard to do right now, isn't it? Yeah. 2006. After 12 consecutive losing seasons, the Tigers won 95 regular season games that year. And at one point, that ball club was 40 games over 500. You beat the Yankees and the Oakland A's in the playoff, and you were crowned American League champions. What's the turnaround? What happens? What's the chemistry of that ball club?
Well, I think it was the whole team. The whole team got together. We have a great coaching staff. I remember when I signed with the Tigers in '04. Alan Trammell was the manager. And then after Alan Trammell, Jim Leland came on the team. And I came from Florida in '03 when we win the World Series, and the Tigers that year lost 116 games that year. That was a great season for them, eh? And I receiving calls during the off season, even calls from from my parents when I signed with Detroit. He said to me, "You signed with Detroit after winning the World Series?" I said, "Yeah, son. They lost 116 games last year, and they're on the way to lose 112 more the next season." I'm like, "No, you're wrong. I don't know, you're wrong. I agree with what you're saying that they lost 116, but I don't think we're gonna lose 112 because I'm gonna do my best to bring this organization back to the World Series because Dave Dombrowski, we have a long conversation in the offseason, pretty much 2 months. And one of the things that they told me in the offseason is sign, get this 5-year contract, and I'm going to put a very good team for you in 2 years. And you're going to be back in the show in 2 years. And I said, okay. So we signed. I signed. We start the season, okay. We didn't, we played better, but we still having a negative season, which is, below 500. And then the next season, that's where we start to seeing the Magli Ordóñez, the Carlos Guillén, Big Head, Placido Polanco. Yeah, we call him Big Head. Normal head before the game, super big head during the game. And we just, start to have a great chemistry in the clubhouse. Jim Leland came in. Then we bring, obviously, one of the best pitchers in the game today, Justin Verlander. And the rest is history. We start to play the way that we can play, start winning games, and exactly what they said in 2006, we want to be in the World Series. He did it in 2006. We played in the World Series. Unfortunately, we lost 4-2 against the Cardinals. But I think the reason for me was because we didn't play in 10 days. So we swept the Oakland A's too early, and then the National League Series went to 7 games, and it's not easy when you have a 10 days off and you play with a team that just finished 7 games. It's hard to beat teams like that, but that's part of the game. But I think that was the beginning of great things that happens in the city of Detroit, city of Michigan, bringing baseball back, new ballpark. After I left, when I left in 2009, 2010, the team stayed as a very good winning team. Miguel Cabrera is still there, and I still believe that Detroit has a great thing today. I think that what they need to do is just stay healthy, because if they stay healthy, they're going to have a good year.
One at bat that you will remember. I know you're a defensive guy. It was all about catching. It was all about throwing people out. It was handling the pitchers, getting into their heads, working with them. But one at bat that stands out that you will never forget. Is there one?
Well, when you have 11,000 at bat, it's hard.
Let's go through every one of them. The first one, how did that go? Now, there has to be one, though, or two that just are special.
So it's one all the way to 11,000. Wow. I might probably say I got a home run in the All-Star game. I got a home run in the World Series. I hit 3 home runs twice in one game. I
remember those. Yeah.
I think, just to be honest with you, I'm a person that I'm blessed, and I always bless God because He gave me the opportunity and He gave me the ability to play this beautiful game and stay healthy. And I think there's good at bats, not too good at bat, horrible at bats. I strike out 4 times in one game, five times in one game at times, but I hit 4 for 4 a lot. And my career was very, very good. To me, I not regret anything. 21 season in the big league with just 1 time in disabled list. That means a lot. That thing to me, that's better than the best at bat. That's better than behind the plate. That's better than World Series. That's better than everything to me. Just be able to play all that you just mentioned earlier with only 1 time in disabled list. That's to me is a home run with bases loaded to me.
We're going to open it up to some questions from the audience here in a few minutes, if that's okay. But one last question. Who was the guy that you hated to see in the mound? The one pitcher that you just were maybe hoping for a rain out when he was scheduled to throw?
Well, they're all pretty tough. They're all very difficult. Because when you're in the big leagues, because you're a great player. And it doesn't matter who's there. It doesn't matter if you play with a first place team or last place team, they're all big leaguer, and you cannot take anything for granted because the last team can beat you like this because they're a big leaguer. I think to me, they all have a job. I have a job. They have a job. There's a few, David Cone to me is one of the toughest because the way that he throws the ball with the top 3/4 underneath. I mean, lefty, I think sometimes I guess. And the other one that I cannot see, and if I see you in normal life, I still saying I hate you. His name is Jeff Nelson. He's a reliever, pitched for a lot of different teams, Yankees, and he throws, I don't know, from somewhere down there, and I think that is illegal pitch to me, to be honest.
Hey, how about a couple questions? Anybody question for Pudge? Somebody? No? Can you come on up? You want to come on up? We'll have you use the microphone. Great. I'd walk there, but it's been a long night. I'm getting tired. So, Pudge, what's your favorite baseball movie?
Favorite baseball movie?
Favorite baseball movie?
I gotta say the Little Big League because I was on it.
Yes, Mr. Cobes. No, that isn't John. I thought, come on in. Come on up. I thought that was John Cobes. It's not John Cobes.
Juliana's husband. Oh, yes. So what was your favorite stadium to play in as an away game and the worst stadium that you like that you had?
Well, worst stadium, none. Because they're all big league stadium, and I mean, everybody wants to play the big league ballpark. Very good stadium for me that I love is Yankee Stadium, but the old stadium. Very good ballpark for me to hit. I don't know, for some reason, I see the ball by like basketball side like that when it comes to home plate. And just to play there with all those memories, the place in that ballpark is a different feeling. All the ballparks, I say Baltimore is a great ballpark for me, beautiful. I think I'm not a player anymore, but I think our new ballpark is coming in Texas. The new one is coming up. It's going to be beautiful. The sad thing that I'm not playing anymore, but that ballpark is going to be, I think, the best ballpark, I think, right now because the technology that is going to be there. But again, all the ballparks that I was playing my 21 years is just priceless to play there. Boston, I mean, I had the chance to play here at the old stadium that one was kind of rough, a little. The clubhouse and the only uncomfortable thing that we have in the old ballpark is then when we coming down to the field at the old ballpark, we have to walk through the fence and then walk down through a tunnel that is, I say, that is probably 100 yards long. And sometimes you can get claustrophobia in there because it's dark and you don't see anything. It was rats all over the place, wet, muggy. But no, I mean, just be able to play as a Major League Baseball player in all 30 ballparks, because I got the chance to play in all 30 ballparks. So I play in all of them. And all the ballparks are major leagues.
Anybody else? Another question? Question? You want to come on up? Yeah, come on up. Come on. Hey, yep, the young man right there. Come on up. This guy looks like a catcher, don't you think? He is a catcher. I could spot it from a mile away. What's your name? Michael?
Who was your favorite baseball player growing up?
Favorite player, Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench, growing up. And now you. So
I think you ought to shake hands with Pudge. There you go.
high five.
There you go.
Good question.
Thanks, Michael. Another question. I saw another hand back there. Yeah, come on up. Come up. Oh, we got another youngster back there. Come on up. Run, hustle. The clock is running. Come on, get up here. What's your name? David? Caden. All right, Caden. Here you go. You hold the mic.
What was it like during the fight with Nolan Ryan?
You better shake his hand before you get an answer.
Does that come from you or your dad?
He's saying, who's Nolan Ryan at his age? Yeah, there you go.
Well, it was good though. It was kind of cool to be there. That fight starts a long time ago. Before that fight happened, it was the series before in Chicago. Robin Ventura did a play in second base that we didn't like, which he slid a little hard and hurt one of the guys. Actually hurt Julio Franco. And Nolan Ryan didn't like that at all. And we started the road trip in Chicago. And from Chicago, we went to Kansas City. And Nolan pitched the first game in Kansas City. And then after Kansas City, we're coming home, and the White Sox was in town. So he asked Bobby Valentine, I want the ball with 4 days rest. It's just because he wanted to hit Ventura. And he didn't care about the team. He just wanted to hit Ventura.
But you're never going to do that. Not right away. Okay.
No, I'm telling the truth. You want to hear it?
Oh, I believe that.
And so I have an accident the night before in Kansas City, and I was catching in Hubie Brooks' swing a bat, and I was on the motion to throw the ball to second base, and when I threw it, Hubie hit me with the bat here and broke this part of my cheekbone right here. So I went from the ground all the way to the operating room in Kansas City. I stayed there overnight, and the next morning, I flew back to Texas. And I went to the ballpark, and I was in training room, and Nolan came to the training room, asked me how I feel. And I said, well, I'm a little dizzy, but I'm good. And he told me, can you catch? I was having a big patch right here with stitch, here. And I cannot say no to Nolan. So I was catching 48 hours after that surgery behind the blade, and that's when that fight happens. And maybe you see some few pictures during that fight, and maybe one or two, you can see me that I grab him, Ventura, from the back, and I was having a big patch right here in the face. I was catching with that, and I was in the middle of the fight. But I'm happy that I was right in the first row right there because Nolan Ryan killed him. He made a mistake. He made a mistake. I never see those uppercuts in my life. The one day he did it to Nolan. So that was the story.
We could do this all night, but we want to be sensitive to your time. One last question. Is there one last one? Yep, come on up. Come on up. Okay, the little guy behind you, too, should come up. Both of you, come on up. We'll do two more. What's your name? Nathan? Boy, you got good ears, man. You heard that well. Nathan, what do you got?
Would you rather win the World Series or the MVP?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Would you rather win the World Series or the MVP?
If I prefer to win a World Series on MVP, a World Series. Because World Series is a team effort. MVP is one player. So when you win a World Series, everything starts since day one. Like what the coach are doing right now, getting this kid ready. And at the end of the year in Omaha,
get up here and shake hands with Pudge.
So when this year like that in Omaha, they win the championship, guess who wins? Everybody wins. So World Series is my choice.
Good question. Where was it? Right here? Come on. Last question.
Last one, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Last one. You're 19 years old, in the big leagues. Talk to me about the transition from baseball from a business perspective.
Well, to me, I was very lucky and unfortunate that placed in Texas. Mm-hmm. And when I was in Texas, I started playing in 91, and I met great people in my life. Great persons in my life that helped me in my career. And to me, I was kind of like that's the way that I wanted to go, because I'm going to be very honest. I graduated out of high school. I didn't go to college. Yeah. If you ask me, if I turn my clock back, I would love to go 4 years to college and graduate. If I was me now, but it's too late. I'm good what I did. But during my career, I was very lucky to meet great people, great business people. Yeah. They helped me, teaching me. At home, my parents, they always give me great advices. And I met some great people in Texas, people that I do some business with them today. I was very lucky and fortunate that I have a great group of people, including one person here, Catalina. Catalina, stand up, say hi. It's my assistant, Catalina. She's keeping me busy. The only bad thing is she calls me sometimes at 1 o'clock in the morning to remind me for tomorrow, but that's good.
That's good.
That's good. But anyway, in my life, I always wanted to obviously save my money, be smart with my money.
Did Major League Baseball help players manage money?
No, but no. You have some guys that manage your money. I have my own guy that manage my money, and I save my money. I invest money in great things, thanks God, and I'm good what I'm doing.
You can focus on playing.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Thank you.
Well, I tell you, like I say, we could do this all night, but I know we want to be sensitive to your time. We know you've got places to go, and folks here too. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your experiences. This has been a truly exciting night. Ivan, Pudge, Rodriquez, folks, give it up. Wow, I'll tell you what a great night. Thank you again, Pudge. Appreciate it. Okay, well, folks, that is the close of a great night. We look forward to seeing you all in the spring at Coves Field at McLean Stadium. Fellas, make no mistake, Spartan baseballers, this is your time. Look each other in the eye and commit to the successful season. Leave it all on the field. Absolutely no regrets. As Pudge said, go green. Go green! God bless y'all. Travel home safely. Play ball.